Alright, I'm not even gonna try to stall. This story begins back in high school. I believe this was my sophomore year. Very unmemorable year, but a lot happened. More specifically, projects. This was the time that we worked on things like the Big Bang rap or the Uranus song, which you guys may have only seen for a very short period of time as they're now unlisted. You can still find them, but anyways, one project came up in our English class, and I say our as in me and my friends. It was the Tempest project, and with this one, we could create anything we wanted, and we love doing this shit because we could do whatever the hell we wanted. And we've done songs before, so you're like, let's create a trailer. So we decided to create a movie trailer for this story by Shakespeare. I'm pretty sure it was Shakespeare, The Tempest. Very popular. But we like to go above and beyond. We always like to do more than what is expected from a bunch of teenagers. Now, at this time, we were already planning on like going to abandoned buildings, and there was this one abandoned building really close to us. I think it used to be a YMCA. Pretty much, I'm gonna skip through all the filler. We're coming up on the day, and we decide we should go check it out first. So we decide to go there with nothing and just check out, see what we're getting ourselves into, see if there's even a way to enter it, and then go from there. So we get close to this place, and we decide to park down less than half a mile walk. I know it sounds stupid, but we were trying to be all sneaky about this. Well, turns out this will be very important later, this mile walk, or this half-mile walk, because it has quite significance in how this story continues. But anyways, we get to the place, we look around, there's a fence, there's like no trespassing spray painted, so there's actually not a sign that says no trespassing, so we're like, okay, we could use that in court or something. No, that's not how that works. Anyways, we end up finding an entrance to this place. It's this little crawl hole. There was glass everywhere, so we had to be very careful about crawling into the space. But once we got in, there's a lot more things we gotta be worried about, like the pesticides and the potential cancer roaming through the air. We were stupid, okay? But anyways, we ended up entering this building and looking around. It was a very big building, and it was also very confusing because there was two halves to it, but you couldn't tell which half you were on most of the time, because the way it was split up was there was like a gym that connected them, but there was also like a lobby that connected them. It was weird. We didn't know if it was an insane asylum or a gym at the time, because that's what it looked like, was an insane asylum. There was this one half with tons of rooms, towers of rooms, like rows and rows of rooms. In fact, I might show some clips here of what it looked like when we filmed. It was really interesting, but the story gets even better because, well, you read the title, the story does get better. So after exploring, we didn't really do much this day. We kind of just looked around just to lay out a few things that we found in the building. A lot of spray paint that had dicks. I think I could be very straightforward about that. On the roof, there was a hole that literally dropped to the very bottom. Now, I'm sure it was a chimney, but we expected it was the drop of death, where they would throw down bodies or alive people, maybe. Who knows? Bro, what am I even talking about? The day ended like normal. We crawled back out, and we walked out, went to my car, and we got out of there. No hassle, right? Well, turns out the second time was not gonna go like that. So the second time, we decide we're finally going to film. So we bring a few things. Airsoft guns, okay. A machete, okay. And our phones. 3 very important things. The airsoft guns, it was an interesting choice, but we ended up getting there, parking the same spot, and then going up there with our airsoft guns. We ended up not bringing the big boy in because we didn't have a way to conceal it. So we just had 2 handguns, and then we walked up in the building. So we had to do 2 things. 1, we had to record our trailer, and 2, we had to fuck around with some airsoft guns. And that was awesome. Now, we actually never had been hit by airsoft guns before, So we had to first test that, and let's just say we were not expecting it to be so light. So we were a bit hesitant about doing it, but we ended up testing them. Airsoft guns don't hurt. Surprisingly, if you didn't know that. We ended up having our little battle, and once we ran out of like 2 full mags, I think it was, we got tired of reloading them because we didn't have any more mags. So we decided to just start filming our thing. So we got the camera and started filming. We did a few scenes. We found a few areas that we liked that looked really cool, and we just got shots. We didn't really think about the story that much. As you could tell, we didn't actually really do much research on the story itself. We just know the character's name, and that's what we did. I still have a video of my friend saying, "Let's fucking do this, Trinculo," or whatever my name was, forgetting that we were doing this for school. Yeah, once we finished up filming, we packed all our stuff, started to walk towards my car with everything, and yeah. Oh, you're still here, wondering about what the title's about. That's where we get to this part of the video. So the first thing I do is check for all my stuff. I usually check for my phone when I get into my car because it's one of those things I don't want to leave behind. Well, looking for my phone, I can't find it. I'm like, okay, I'll look down in my bag. I still can't find it. I asked my friend, do you know where my phone is? Still can't find it. Now it's becoming a real big issue. Now there was a chance that I had left my phone in that building. We decide, okay, instead of walking up there, we found a little parking spot. So we were just gonna be there really quick. So we decided to drive up there and park in that parking lot with this black van behind us. I don't know what the black van's doing there, but you know, let's just get out of our car and go into the building with a black van sitting right behind us. So I decide to go in the building while he sits out and I guess keeps watch. I don't know. And I was looking for my phone, couldn't find it. Well, he decides to come and help me since I was taking so long, and it turns out that there was someone in that black van, and there was a worker who worked across the street. I'm assuming at this point he already seen us exit the place, and that's why he was pulled up there, and he had already called the cops at this point because the cops showed up really fucking quick, like really quick. He ends up yelling at us from inside the building saying, you boys need to get the hell out of there. Yes, mister, we know we're not allowed to be in there. Why do you think we were being so discreet about it? And I get it, he's doing probably his job or something or whatever, but we weren't hitting hard drugs or anything. We ended up exiting and the officer was waiting for us out there. I got into my car, probably not the best idea, but I was kind of panicked, and so officer pulled up behind us and he came out and asked us, what are you doing here, guys? And I looked straight at him, serious face in my eyes, and at this point I could tell the truth. I could tell him the truth because we weren't doing anything bad. I looked him straight in the eyes and I told him, we're photographers. You're what? We're photographers. Yeah, so turns out saying that you're a photographer doesn't get you away from the police. He was still asking lots of questions, and we were just saying that we were taking really cool pictures and we really liked this place. And meanwhile he was asking these questions, you know, we had guns in the back, and you know, lots of guns in the back. We had a machete in one of our bags, and you know, normal things that cops see all the time. I think he kind of knew what we were up to because he's seen BBs in my floor, most likely. So he probably knew we were just here to do airsoft and maybe record a video. Finally, he decides we look way too young to be way too smart. He realized that we were stupid, and we realized that we were stupid. While my friend over here was saying absolutely nothing, he decides to just let us go, which I think was really nice of him. Now the other worker there, fuck you. You shouldn't have snitched on us, you little bitch. Sorry, that may have been a little too far. I'm sorry. We ended up going and we ended up parking back to where we normally park. At that moment, I realized that situation could have gone a lot worse than it did. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to retrieve my phone. Oh wait, it was on top of my car. Yeah, so this entire time, I'm up there looking for my phone. It is on top of my car. So let me rephrase what just happened. We ended up getting out, safely. I end up losing my phone. I go up there with my car, black van. We get called out. Police show up. They see guns in the back of our car. This police officer, who is taller than my car, probably saw my phone sitting on top of my car. And now we're telling him that I lost my phone in that building because I'm a photographer. Yeah.